Hey guys, Tim Janik here, your CFV mobility coach. I got Garrett on the ground. Next week we've got overhead squats and snatches. So what we're going to be demonstrating here is something to help open up the thoracic spine. I'm going to actually have Garrett stand up real quick. Okay. One thing I want to point out is if we look at Garrett from the side, he's actually pretty straight up and down. He's got good positioning there. You can see all the way down from his ear down to his shoulder. His ear and shoulder are in alignment. His shoulder and hips are pretty much in alignment, and then hips all the way down to his ankles are pretty much in alignment. Okay, one of the things that I'll see with people in the gym or even in my own practice is they start to get this question mark rounded out posture, actually in the other way. So what we call forward head posture. So bring your chin up now, okay, where you got that hunched over back, everything's looking forward. So where this creates a problem in overhead position is if he tries to raise his arms up, he can't get fully extended. So now you can see from his hand right there all the way down to his foot, if he were to do a shoulder press or an overhead squat, he's already starting with that weight out in front of his feet. Okay, that's not a good position. So what we want to do, so what he would naturally do is he would push his hips forward. Push your hips forward, Garrett. And then that's going to bring that weight back over his feet. But see what that does is it creates a problem in his lumbar spine where it creates more extension in his lumbar spine there. Okay, and that's not good for the low back. So one of the ways to correct this is to really open up the thoracic spine right through here. Okay, so that way he can get the shoulders more open. A lot of people think, okay, shoulder mobility, I got to loosen my shoulders. However, the first place we want to look for mobility of the shoulders in the thoracic spine, up in this upper part of the spine right through there, okay? So, this is a great technique to loosen it up. All you're going to need is a foam roller, okay? We have 6-inch foam rollers here that we're going to use. So Garrett's going to lay down on the foam roller. He's going to put it about right on his shoulder blades is where he's going to start. Okay, now when you're doing this, some of you might find that you don't feel much here. Well, to get set up in this position, he's going to put his hands behind his neck. Okay, it's important you put it behind the neck as opposed to behind the head. And what he's going to start doing, he's going to keep his lumbar spine pretty straight right there, and he's going to extend his thoracic spine there, keeping his head in alignment. Okay, and it's basically you're doing a back bend over the foam roller right there. And that's going to really loosen up the thoracic spine. Okay, now just like if you were going to break a paper clip, you're going to move the spine over and over and over again. Okay, so this is one of the techniques that we're going to use to get the thoracic spine opened up, so that way we can get a good overhead position for overhead squats and snatches next week. Okay, after he's through doing the extension, he's going to move the foam roller down one spinal segment. Okay, so if you can imagine your spine, there's 26 bones in the spine moving down one segment. And again, he's extending back over the foam roller, creating extension in his thoracic spine. Now, one thing he can do is he can incorporate his breathing with it. He can breathe in on the way back and then breathe out on the way up. Okay, also notice that Garrett's not doing a full crunch. Okay, like that. That's not what we want to see. Okay, we're working from neutral position to extended position. There's neutral, and then there's extended. Okay, so we're going to keep, and then he's going to move it down another segment. Move it down a little bit more, Garrett. There you go. Okay, he's going to do the same thing. Extend back over. Some nice extension there. Garrett's nice and young, so his bones are still flexible. His muscles are not tightened up like some of us old guys. Okay. But we want to stay loose just like Garrett, so that way we don't have any shoulder injuries. Okay, now he's going to move it down another segment and repeat the same process. You're going to repeat this all the way down to the bottom of the rib cage, okay, to get that spine loosened up. Notice how much extension he's getting there. Okay, and that's going to help out in his overhead position. If you're suffering with shoulder mobility issues, this is a great mobility technique to use to get your shoulders open up. You'll feel a lot more movement in your shoulders. Okay, so once you've done that, you can go back up to the top again of the spine, of the thoracic spine, going into the same position, but this time instead of moving back and forth the way we were doing, he's going to extend over the foam roller. So extend back, Garrett, there you go. And he's gonna keep that position. Now he's gonna move his hips right there, left to right. So now what he's getting is a movement in his hips, which is going to start mobilizing his spine in a rotational movement, okay? Which is also going to further stretch and loosen up the thoracic spine, okay? So after you throw it that segment, you'll do the same thing. Move the foam roller down again, another spinal segment, and move the hips left and right, okay? And notice that he's in a extended position in the thoracic spine. Now, one of the most important things to do is to breathe, okay? So if you're not breathing, you're probably holding your breath, and that's not what we want. So we want nice, big diaphragmatic breathing into the chest, into the abdomen, then into the chest to loosen everything up, okay? So we're gonna have Garrett stand up again. He's going to go into as if he were going to do a shoulder press. And we're gonna see what his shoulder mobility was already pretty good. We're gonna see how it feels now. So go ahead and raise those arms up above head, okay? And you can see, again, he's still got really good mobility there, all right? How's that feel, Garrett?
Feels a lot better.
Feels a lot better, okay? So you loosen up the spine, start at the spine, work your way up to the shoulders, and that's gonna help loosen everything up. All right, guys, take care.